Hello, this is Samir Machue, and I'm a wealth coach and a financial mentor. Welcome to our series on Think Abundance, and this is the second episode. We in this series discuss anything related to abundance that will help us move our life forward. We discuss articles, we discuss books, we discuss stories, we discuss thoughts, and we discuss ideas. Anything that will help us increase the experience of abundance in our life. We publish a video every Saturday, 5 p.m. every week. So this is how we organize this whole series on Think Abundance. And why do we do this? What is the purpose of this series? The purpose of series is to grow. Since nature grows, it is the design of the nature to seek growth, to seek abundance. We human beings also want to grow. Every next day, we want to be a better person. And that is the purpose of this series. This series will give you thoughts and ideas to move your life forward in the growth direction of the growth. Right? So last week, we saw how a simple thing like a thought can create your destiny. And this week, I'm going to share yet again one of my experiences in my own life, how a thought shaped my destiny, and then how by changing my thoughts, I changed my destiny. Right? So if you are interested, please do watch this video till the end. So last week we saw a paragraph. You sow a thought, you reap a action. You sow action, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. And you sow a character, you reap a destiny. So this is what we saw in the last week, right? Now, when I was in school, I think I was in the primary school, 4th and 5th standard. During that time, that age, I used to always have this thought in my mind that I cannot communicate well. I'm an introvert person. So I used to have very little friends. I used to hardly talk to any one of them in the school. And I was that kind of person who rarely opened his mouth, who rarely expressed himself. And that kept on going. I was like a loner in the school. It was in the 6th standard that my grandfather, who was a teacher in some other school, he put me into the elocution competition in the school. The competition was about speaking, about expressing. So there was a big assembly hall in our school, and the people who participated, the students who participated in that competition, had to go to the dais and then speak something. They used to narrate some story and all those things. And I used to have jitters even looking at other people doing that. And we used to be a crowd of more than maybe 500 students watching over that one single student narrating a story. And there were very smart guys in the school. They used to do it just like it was their business always in life. But I was having jitters, but somehow because of the force, I was not having an option to quit. So I anyhow participated, I prepared for it, but my heart was not into it. So eventually I landed up, my name was called, and I landed up on the dais. Now, because of this thought that I was always having in my mind, in my brain, that I'm not a good speaker, I'm not a good communicator, I'm an introvert guy, that took the grip of my life and I could not utter a word. I was standing still on the dais. There were these hundreds of students watching, and I suddenly went blank. It was like a black screen in front of me. I could not see a single person in the room. And it was like I was paralyzed on the dais. And the nearest thing that I remember, that I was sitting on a chair below the dais. Somebody physically took me from the stage and put me down, guided me down. This particular phase of my life, maybe 3-4 minutes of time when I was on the dais paralyzed, and then I came down from the dais and sitting on the chair that in the corner. I do not remember a single thing what happened between these 2-3 minutes. It's like a phase that is wiped out of my memory. So that was the destiny. And the destiny was true. This thought created the destiny that I could not speak. And that was, as I said, I was in 6th standard. So my age was 11 at that time. And I did not speak for next 15-20 years. It was in 2003, year 2003, that I attended a course called Landmark Forum. I actually completed the whole curriculum of Landmark Education. I did the Landmark Forum, the advanced course, and the self-expression and leadership program. In the self-expression and leadership program, it is then I realized, that was in 2004, that I could speak. That was a blind spot for me. And I was a person who was all the time giving reality to that thought in my mind that I am an introvert. Actually, I had a lot of things to express in my life. And as an experiment, as creating a drastic change, as a step in the direction of creating my own communication, that time I participated in a function. That time I was working in a factory near Nasik, and I participated in a function of Family Day. And I changed my attire. I created a character, and in that character, I created my own dialogues, and I anchored that whole program for 4 hours. And I spoke from the dais in front of 3,500 people. Initially, it was very, very confronting for me to go on that stage, but I had decided that no matter what, I will do it today. It was now or never. I tried my hard. I gave everything I had, just like my life depended on that day for me to speak. That is the time I started speaking. And today, so many years after that, today I am 50 years of age, and now since last 15 years, I am getting paid only because of speaking. In fact, few years back, I was conducting a training program on entrepreneurship. I did that as a freelancer for 2.5-3 years. And that is the time I was speaking to so many people day in and day out. Right? That is because now this second thought that I can speak was instilled in my mind. So that thought asked me to take some action. The action was to go on the dais and speak. The action was to find a group of people and speak. That is the action I do. Sorry. Eventually, I got habituated to that. That became my character. And now that is the destiny. Now I am a consultant. I earn because I speak, and I speak well, and I speak it regularly. That is the beauty of how a thought will create a destiny. Right? So I hope you appreciate that if you held a thought long enough in your mind, you can actually create a thing out of it. That is what the book Secret tells us. Thoughts become things. And this is what happened in my life. From a person who was introvert, who was not able to speak, to a person whose whole career is about speaking, whose whole business is about speaking. So I am in the business of consulting. And I was surprised when 2 years, 3 years back, I did my brain mapping. And the brain mapping told that the vocal part of my brain, the ability to communicate, the portion which is responsible for language, the portion which is responsible for putting our thoughts into words, was the most developed part of my brain. Can you imagine that? So this is how the impact of a single thought can be on your life. And I created a whole career out of this thought, that I can speak well, I can communicate well. So this is the thing I wanted to communicate in today's episode. I hope this thought will help, this narration, this story would help all those people, especially those people who are introvert, who think they are introvert, to get them out of that mold and start communicating and contribute in their unique way to this world. That's all for now. Bye bye. Take care and have an abundant life. See you next week in the same series, Think Abundance.